Hey, everybody.
Hey,
How's everybody doing? Welcome to Courageous Conversations. Hey, Nadia.
hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm just going to do a little sharing because I think that that's an important part of this.
Sounds good.
And
I will join you.
yeah, so I'm just going to see that I am live. Yes, we are on my page. So I'm just sharing. It's the first time using Be Live. So I'm going to share to different pages first so that we know that, you know, we're all in this together and sharing is caring.
And we
So here
want
we
to get some questions too, so we're
Yeah,
happy
yeah,
to.
absolutely. Join us
Excuse
live.
me.
Uh, uh, Nadia, how's your day going?
Productive.
Yeah.
Productive, actually. I shipped a piece of art to New York.
Oh,
I
wow.
had an appointment. I ran around and took care of business. So good. How's your
So
day?
my day's been quite good too, but I have to say, technical stuff uh, freaks me out a little bit, but that's
Well, yeah,
okay.
it's a learning curve,
It's
right?
a learning point because I'm using a new platform, as you know, called Be Live, and so it's great. I'm loving it, but it's new and it sounds new and it kind of looks great though.
It does look great,
It
yeah.
looks really really good. And Kevin's watching. How does it look on your end when you see it? There we go. All right. I'm just going to read some of the things here. So, yeah. Oh, only visible. Oh, okay. So, only visible to you. I'm just reading this thing. Show on the screen. Okay, here we go. All right. So now, yeah, it's perfect. Okay. So, okay, looking good, Kevin says. Excellent. Good. So, number one, I just want to say you and I have had some fun times creating beautiful content for people. And yeah, and I'm so honored to invite Nadia Lloyd of the Empowered Tribe Collective. Um, thank you. Thank you. Kevin the cameraman. How's my headroom, honey? There we go. I'll just change it a tiny bit. There we go. Is that better? Is that worse? I think I just made it worse. Oh, full boob shop. All right. No, no, exactly. Sure, the public won't mind either. Yeah, exactly. So the thing that I'm thinking about is the journey toward shining one's light, creating one's, you know, vulnerable exposure to the world uh, is is kind of exciting because it's there's not an easy road to do that, and I have
No,
chosen to do that, and I know you have as well. What's it been like
absolutely.
for you? You know,
What's that
you're an
journey been like for
artist.
me?
You're creating amazing projects, programs.
Well, for me, pursuing my creativity and instinct and intuition is I kind of don't have a choice because
Uh-huh.
it's my passion and I really do love to pursue my passions.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of focus, a lot of energy
Yeah.
required, a lot of commitment. And sometimes you're dealt surprises, sometimes things go super smoothly, but all in all, at the end of the day, I kind of feel like my mission or my reason for being here is to let my light shine
Yeah.
by trusting my heart and my intuition and in the process inspiring others to do the same.
Ooh, and you have done that. You really have. Like, there's been a really, oof. I've seen you just put it out there, and you're a manifesting queen. You are a manifesting. Do you know that? Do you know that you are a major manifesting queen?
I do know because I try to finish every day by taking inventory of what's happened so I can identify the miracles that manifested that were based on me asking the universe to support me and to
Yeah,
help me materialize, my visions
yeah.
and my goals. Yeah.
What's your, like, some people say, okay, this is how I manifest best, or this is the process that I go through to manifest. But what is yours? Because you're pretty good at it, I find.
I've always been a daydreamer. It
Ah,
got me into a lot of trouble when I was a kid, but as a grown-up, I use daydreaming as my number one tool for manifestation. So if I have an idea and I want to see it materialize, first
yeah,
I materialize it in my head by
yeah,
daydreaming. So
yeah,
I try to see it develop from
yeah.
A to Z,
Yes,
inputting what I want to see come out of it, how I want to see it unfold. And I try to do that as often as possible on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. So multiple times a day, multiple times a week, I carve out time to just close my eyes, get into a feel good mood, and just run through the event, whatever it is, run through the event in my head, how I want to see it
you visualize.
Absolutely. And I mean, down to the nitty gritty details. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
How
you're
do
good.
you?
And you're good at creating these events, my love. Our last event was amazing, and so this event is. We're going to get into what this is about. It's a 1-day intensive. I love the word. C'est une intensive. You're a French woman,
Yeah.
Montrealer. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, the last event was incredible. The exchange of energy and experiences and stories
yeah,
in the room was so uplifting
yeah.
and inspiring. And a lot of the participants walked away saying, "Stop dimming my light," and Victoria had the most impact for me, resonated the most with me, and we want more. So that's why
That's
we're
what we're doing
offering.
this.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. That's why we're offering this amazing 1-day intensive next Saturday, and I'm so excited to see it unfold.
And it's International Women's Day weekend, not the 7th,
Yeah,
it's the 8th, but ours is on the 7th, but it is, and this event is not just for women, it's men and women, but it
yeah.
is definitely uh, a, a
A
great
great time to
synchronistic.
celebrate. A great time to celebrate women,
Yeah,
really, and
exactly.
to share amongst whoever is at the event, to share the tools for empowerment and basically building strong foundations so that we can be the best versions of us that we can be.
And you know what? The pendulum has had to swing because so many generations of women not being celebrated, not being seen as anything important, just a fly on the wall, frankly. So,
Yeah,
we've really had to do this. And
yeah, and previous generations have put in the work, and now we're putting in the work. And I mean, if you ask me, I think I can already see the movement, sort of like very well on its way. A lot
thank
of women
goodness.
taking ownership of their professions,
Yeah.
or leaving professions to pursue and follow dreams and aspirations that they have, trusting themselves in
Yeah.
it. Taking along their networks, their friends, their peoples with them, to so that everybody can sort of be uplifted together.
And
And
one of
and
the things that I'm passionate about, and I'm really in the nitty gritty of it, is the notion that I came up. Listen, I came up in a family culture that said you need to hide yourself because you're too much, and that's why you're being bullied, and you shouldn't be so boisterous, so creative, so sensitive, so loud, so any of those things.
take
So
up so much room. You shouldn't take up so much room.
don't
Yeah.
take up the room. Shh, be quiet. Behave yourself. Be a lady. Be a lady.
Be a
A
lady.
feminine
Yeah.
lady.
And I mean, what the hell does that mean anyway? Be a lady. Like, who's gonna tell me how to do it, right? So, for me,
My
stuff.
father had a very specific, uh, concept of what a lady is, and I couldn't have been farther from that
Well, you
notion.
know what? Let me tell you a story, okay? I was 7 or 8 years old, and it was right after Christmas time or during Christmas time, and we used to go to my uncle's for Sunday family dinner every Sunday. And my
Yeah.
my father is Egyptian, and so my father's side of the family is Arabic. So I had gotten a Crayola makeup set for Christmas, and one of the items in there was this fire engine red Crayola lipstick.
Woo!
So during our lunch, yeah, during our lunch, but like imagine me like 7 or 8.
I love it.
During our lunch, I go to the washroom, I put this fire engine red lipstick on, and then I come back and I sit at the table as if nothing, as if I've just put on lip gloss,
Yeah.
and everybody turned around and looked at me.
Wow.
And my dad was like, "Wipe that stuff off your face right
You
now."
better.
I mean,
Oh, I have a similar story. I mean, I have something very similar to that. At 13, I was going to my little party on a Sunday afternoon with boys and girls and disco and all this, and my dad just like grabbed my hand and said, "Wash that shit off." I'm like, "Dim your light, girl.
yeah,
Dim your effing light."
yeah. But then, so much happens. Like from that age, you become a teenager, then you've got the hormones, you're in the
Yeah.
school system where they're trying to turn you into a robot. Everybody's telling you need to go to university right after that,
Yeah.
even if you're undecided. Like the layers that end up dimming our lights are
Yeah.
real and they're thick and they're numerous, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get to a certain age where you assess things and you're like, why am I always unhappy? Why do I feel unsatisfied? Why do I feel um, blocked,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's where stop dimming your light comes in, because basically, if you're feeling any of these things that also include guilt and shame,
Yeah.
um, it just means you're really not being yourself. You're not allowing your true soul to the space to shine.
I
So
think that's why you and I are aligned, because this material is so near and dear to both of our hearts.
yeah, and I think we've done the work and we continue to do the work because
Yeah.
it never really ends, right?
No.
Life is about like an onion. There's so many layers, and it's just peeling things back and always coming back here
Right.
to see how am I feeling.
I have this repetitive dream that I'll be able to share this information with 1,000 people at the same time, whether it's on a beach or it's on a computer or it's in a room, whatever it may be. I want this information to proliferate, because the one thing in 25 years I've been doing the work I've been doing, I can't I can't tell you how many people have said to me, I don't feel valuable enough to share who I am. I need to toe the line. I can't disrupt other people. I can't make other people feel badly when I shine my light. I
Yeah,
can't, and I'm here to say, just because you're used to not doing it, just
doesn't mean
because
you can't learn.
it doesn't mean you can't learn.
Yeah,
And I have like these proven methods to rewire your neural pathways. I have that. It's something that works. It's something that simply works. And that's why we're doing these things, because this works. This is not just a sort of a pep talk. This is an actual methodology to help you rewire your brain.
exactly. So you walk out with new neural pathways,
That's right.
with
You
with
actually have a method.
with new muscles that you can condition moving forward.
Yeah. It's a
Absolutely.
workout. It's a workout for your self-esteem.
Yeah.
We go to the gym and we work out our muscles.
And
This
we
is
feel great.
and we feel amazing, we
So
feel
yeah,
transformed. This is a workout for your self-esteem, and so that you can really tangibly feel the transformation.
absolutely. And for me it's about connecting those who are aspiring to live that way with others who have put in the work, who are putting in the work, who have built lives around really not dimming their lights so that we can sort of rub off on them and inspire them. And even though, like I said, for me, it's a daily practice
Yep.
to work on my growth. It's one thing that I have noticed and taken account of in the last few years is the amount of people who say, wow, it's so inspiring what you do. Like you have an idea, you trust yourself,
Yeah.
you just go out there, you get it out there, it impacts other people. It touches lives. That's so amazing. And I've always been like, that's what life is about. It's for each of us to find what our gift is, what our talent is, what our skill is, and to find ways to put it out there so we can inspire and help and progress as a nation.
Well, I really have to say that right now, the way the things are going on in the universe, people are afraid. There's a lot of fear mongering, and there's a lot of fear generally being sort of cultivated in our anxieties. And I really feel that this work has a huge purpose in terms of helping the planet. Because each person that says, I have a message, but I won't share it because I'm afraid. I'm at the mercy of criticism. I'm at the mercy of judgment. Each person who does that is actually depriving the planet of
Yeah,
something,
for
of something
sure.
good. And that's what I think this is also about on a larger level. I
For
think the
sure.
universe is watching that. It's like,
For sure. And it's about all of us sharing our gifts so we can help others. And so on a day where we get together like this, like we're going to do next Saturday, it's not only those who are in the space that are going to benefit. They're going to benefit firsthand, but what they're going to benefit from will have a domino effect on those around them,
a
right? And
reverbing effect. It's huge.
exactly.
My heart just opens up so much when I hear people say, hey, you know what? As a result of the work I'm doing with you, Victoria, I'm now able to see a clients or volunteer here or impact my family, or more importantly, Nadia, be a conscious leader. Like, oh, people who work in Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies that work with me with this type of work have the power to impact
So
hundreds,
many
sometimes
people around
thousands of
them.
people.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
huge. The reverberation is massive. And
Absolutely.
that is that's really floats my, so anyone who's a leader who's feeling like I don't really have it in me to show up at my meetings, to show up in my work experience, this is amazing. And the price point that you've set is just so accessible for
Yeah,
this.
I mean, and that's the goal, right? The goal is to it's almost like I want to bring self-help to life because it's great to read a book
Yeah,
and to try and put the work into practice on your own, but it's even more magical when you do it surrounded by like-minded people
yeah.
who have the same goal, who want to grow, who want to see you grow. So my goal is definitely to make it accessible and affordable. And it's basically the motto I've had with my art and my fashion accessories since day one. It was like I want to make my art accessible and functional and affordable because I know that it brings a lot of joy to people. And so
Oh
how
yeah.
how do I do that? That's when I started printing my art and doing things like scarves and skirts. It just gives people
Fabulous.
access to something they love at a price that they can afford, and it just helps to spread joy.
I
So it's
mean, if people haven't seen Nadia Lloyd's work, you need to uh, hook in with her with Nadia Lloyd TO on
not
Instagram.
yeah, NadiaLloyd.com online.
Sorry, NadiaLloyd.com online, and Empowered Tribe Collective on Instagram, and EmpoweredTribeCollective.com is where you get tickets for all of this. It's an Eventbrite. And Shelly Rush, she's like saying, so relatable. Looking forward to seeing you both on March 7th.
And
Woo!
Shelly came to 2020 and 2020. So she's very
Awesome.
excited to
So
come
she's
back and spend a day with you.
right on, right on.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. It's it's really, really, some of the learning outcomes I shared. Come to our Facebook event page, Stop Dim Your Light, exclamation mark. You'll find us there. You're going to see some of the learning outcomes. Um, Basically, it's it's a very proven methodology to disrupt the disease to please, to disrupt the following of other people's agendas, to disrupt having your voice being squelched, to learn the anatomy of good boundaries, how to say no, only saying yes when you want to. And a really important sort of spiritual concept is the notion of this third dimensional survival living, which you don't have to be doing anymore. We can start to live beyond survival. And that's what this is about.
That's the
Really,
intention. Yeah.
what's that?
That's the intention.
Tell me something about you. I'm putting you on the spot, Nadia. Tell me something about you in which you transform sort of survival living to more intentional living in your own personal life.
Sure. So in 2012, I separated from my husband. And I'd been a stay-at-home mom because I was sort of on mat leave when it happened. So
Right.
I was at home most of the day with my delicious little one. And all of a sudden, I found myself I found myself having to kind of become autonomous,
Which
having
is
to,
not easy.
it's not easy. No, it's not easy. It had to happen, and I'm glad it did, but
Yeah.
it was a lot of work. So initially, what I did is I took a part-time job
Mhm.
so that I could get out of the house because I've been home so much that it did me a lot of good to just get out of the house
Yeah.
and feel like a contributing member of society. And then within a few months, when I was, feeling more energetic, feeling more independent and stable, I then decided that I was going to try running a little art show.
Mm.
It was an idea that just popped into my head one day. And so from my couch, I remember emailing a few people in my neighborhood in Liberty Village and saying, hey, I'm thinking of running an art show. Could you sort of guide me or direct me? Who should I speak to? What should I do? And then I got a few responses back right away saying, great idea. Talk to this person, talk to that person. Long story short, excuse me. Long story short, I put in the work for 6 weeks. I worked intensely on this art show, even though I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never done an art show before. I just took a huge leap of faith and told myself it's gonna work out. I emailed every single artist I knew. I told them this was happening. And
Wow.
within 6 weeks, I had an art show with 45 artists, 12 sponsors, and we had a couple hundred people who came out. Actually, probably closer to like 800 people who came out to the event. Uh,
You're
and
unbelievable.
and that that very day, I came home at the end of the event, and I thought, you know what? I really enjoyed this. Gave me a lot of pride.
Yeah.
And a lot of purpose. So I'm going to keep doing this. And so basically, within another month, actually less than another month, I quit the part-time job to pursue these art festivals full time. And I'm now 7 years into running my company called Toronto Art Crawl.
And you have over 12K followers on
Well,
Instagram.
Toronto Art Crawl has 15,000 and
Look at
growing
this.
daily. Yeah, and it's
We want all those 15,000 people to come to Empowered Tribe
yeah,
Collective.
yeah. I'll need to get a bigger venue though. But definitely,
That's okay. We'll get a bigger venue.
we'll get a bigger venue. Yeah, no, so what I love is everything I do sort of ties in. So when I run Toronto Art Crawl, what I'm doing is I'm creating these opportunities for other artists like myself to have an outlet where they can sell their work and acquire a fan base and make money, make income, right?
Yeah.
We
As
like
an
to
artist.
create, but sometimes we need to come out of our caves and show our work so we can get some money back for it. And so that's what Toronto Art Crawl does. And Empower Tribe Collective, the goal there is really to help those who are aspiring to become empowered and to have goals they want to reach, but just need the tools and resources, a little kick in the butt, is to give those guys, that group of people, the inspiration that they need. So artists are very welcome to the Empowered Tribe Collective because as artists, think of all the people right now who are like, I've got this creative outlet, this thing that I love to do, but I'm not good enough. I'm not this is just like a craft. I'm not going to show it to anybody. Nobody
Yeah.
would buy this, so it's like it's I mean, I did it. I taught myself how to paint, and
Yeah.
within 6 months I was selling art. And then I taught myself how to design fashion, and within 3 months I was selling fashion accessories. So
Wow.
everything is possible. It really just starts with believing and then putting in the
Visualizing,
work.
believing.
Yeah, and then putting in the work, right? Constantly working on your confidence, on your self-esteem, on your self-love,
Self-worth.
appreciation, self-worth. Yeah, all of those things. It's really
Unhooking from
unhooking.
any kind of judgment from external sources.
Yeah, and trusting here, trusting that you got everything you need. So do it at your own time. pace yourself, but you got it all here.
Yeah. I would say for me, I've done a lot of interesting sort of risking, going from doubt, going from fear, going from a place of, like, my whole practice I started a very unconventional practice as a psychotherapist. None of what I do is conventional.
Like me, I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's grounded in a master's degree education, but for a quarter of a century, I've basically been laying out my own style of psychotherapy, holistic psychotherapy. So because talking heads don't necessarily change patterns of behavior. And when we're looking to disrupt what no longer works, when we're looking to disrupt the patterns of behavior that we learned from the family, the messaging, the controlling parent, the authority figure, or even depressed parent, unhealthy environment at home where you feel like you're lost in all of that. When you're looking at all of that, it's tempting to just go, oh yeah, life is this scary place. Life is this world that you just can't risk. You have to stay safe, overprotect, create too many walls. And that's what keeps people hidden.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
certainly there was some wisdom that came in for me in my life when I realized, no one's going to save me. No one's coming to save me.
Yeah.
I've got to save myself. I mean, some good therapy, some good writing, some good reading over many years. And I just decided, I can no longer be, it's like herding cats. You can't herd them. You've got to let them out of the bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I've produced my own shows.
You've written books.
I've written books. I've created a practice that's completely out of the box. And thankfully,
but of such great value.
Great value, exactly. Yeah. It's transformational, profound, and actually the most important thing, it's grounded in techniques that work. It's not just blah blah blah. It works. It actually works. I can't align myself with anything that doesn't actually really work. And
it has to resonate, right?
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a bit more about Stop Dimming Your Light and what we can expect?
So I did the 1 hour version at the 2020 and 2010 with the Empowered Collective. I've done it in other places. This is the one day. Well, we're from 10 to 3. Is that
10
right?
10 to 3, yeah.
So it's a good chunk of time for us to expand on notions like, how do you disrupt the regular thoughts within you that keep you afraid or shamed or guilty or saying yes when you don't want to get, or not doing what you want to do, not actually pursuing careers and life and travel and experiences that you want, buying into the fear. And so I want to tell people how and why we actually create these beliefs that just don't work, that keep us small and keep us unrealized as human beings, but
unhappy.
Also, what's that? Unhappy, exactly. But I'm also going to talk about the difference between self-worth and self-love. People go on a journey of wanting self-love, but sometimes we identify self-love with the old love that we learned from our family. And that type of love is often not healthy. It could be perfectionistic love. It could be conditional love. It could be belittling love.
Narcissistic, manipulative
love, servitude love, or high performance love. I'll only deserve love if I perform. So let's transform that into a self-worth kind of self-affection in which you start to see yourself as a person of value. And there's a technique that we can actually help you to do that. And of course, the formula for change. I'm going to really talk about what the actual formula for changing your belief systems and your core beliefs and your neural pathways are. It's a dynamic day, but not only is that it's a dynamic day, but it's a chance for you to commune with yourself, commune with like-minded individuals. I'm going to use visualization. I'm going to use transformational visualization. I mean, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of an exciting day.
And it's very hands-on, right? So it's a chance to listen.
So you're not just listening, but you're actually doing.
to put into practice right away.
Exactly. We've got a few comments here. So Yitushka, Linda says you're a very special person. Oh, you're so. I'll have that. Can you see that comment? It's visible now.
Yeah.
And Yitushka says, I agree, Linda. I second that. And Yitushka says, I've watched you grow all of these years. Love it. That's great. And also, you've got a few of your followers. Also, let's see here. Oh, Carlos, nice to see. We saw that earlier. Amazing. I'm so glad you guys are joining us. Share this broadcast if you feel this is resonant, because we're talking about the deeper stuff. And we're not only talking about the deeper stuff, but Nadia and I have joined forces because we both just really believe in the same kind of philosophy about what we as humans need to do to contribute to this planet in positive ways, I think.
And to make the most of our lives, and to be happy as well, to feel good.
Yeah, we're not just walking meat bags.
And talking heads.
We're not just talking heads and walking meat bags. We're something beyond that. We're something, and we're souls. That's the other thing. Oh my God. Let's not forget we're souls.
No, let's not forget. Spiritual beings having a human experience.
Spiritual beings have a human experience. Let's see how they can. So you set the price. I mean, you're the promoter marketer of this whole thing. You're pretty extraordinary at that, and you set a pretty cool price. I was like, really? Yeah, it's a great price because people can access it super easily for next Saturday at 10 o'clock.
So the workshop is from 10 to 3. Saturday, March the 7th, which is the same weekend as International Women's Day, and it's taking place in a beautiful venue called the Freedom Factory,
I love that.
which is in downtown's trendy Queen Street West, so Queen Street West and Dover Court neighborhood. And the tickets are the seats are $137 each, and we'll be providing coffee and tea. And we'll grab lunch together next door when we need a little break. And the seats are limited, so we can include 40 people in this incredible day. So, and tickets can be found either at empoweredtribecollective.com or
So I'm going to write that
through social media. It's at Empowered Tribe Collective, and there are links in the profile as well.
Yeah. I think I can do this.
Now you should tell us about not dimming your light and going on the radio tomorrow, along with Deanie Petty, and tell us more about that.
So Zoomer Radio. So Zoomer Radio, this lovely show called Finding Your Bliss. And they asked me to come and be part of this. So Deanie Petty, the reason she got involved is she's like the Oprah of Canada in many ways. And she wrote the foreword to my second book called Connecting, Rewire. Connecting. Where's Rewire? It's over there. Connecting, Rewire Your Relationship Culture. And so the people who are doing Finding Your Bliss, Judy Liebrack, she basically said, I'd love to have you and Deanie on the show. And I was like, I don't know if I haven't seen Deanie in a while, but here's her information. So here we go. So Deanie was happy to join us. And it's tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Zoomer Radio. I will post in the comments later on exactly where to find it. But tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Zoomer Radio, the Finding Your Bliss show with Judy Liebrack. And I'm going to be interviewed.
Can't wait to hear it.
It's going to be a podcast as well. So it's going to be a visual podcast, like a video podcast, as well as radio. And we'll just be able to put it out there.
Amazing.
I can't wait. It's kind of
a cool thing.
It's kind of a cool thing. Yeah, I agree. And it's also an opportunity to create also more community about this, more and more community about this. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited
for you.
Yeah. Oh, I got to put the correct www. There we go. All right. Are we fixing that? And here we go. Empowered Tribe Collective. Actually, not the capital E. Where where do we stand in terms of your time right now? We're going to start to wrap up. But I want us to just make sure that we have everything. Have you asked me everything you think you need to ask me about this?
Yeah, I had only written one question down, and it was, what does not dimming your light look like to you? And I think you've answered that for us.
So yeah, I think that not dimming your light has a big encompassing concept, but the main thing is where you decide that the loudest voice in your head is yours, that you decide that other people's agendas no longer rules you, and that you decide that no longer will you allow fear and shame and that horrible word guilt to rule you.
I
And
love
you
it.
free yourself from that. And
I
it's what
love
we're going to
it.
be doing on Saturday.
I love it.
Stop dimming your light. But we don't, you and I don't. So I just don't want other people to dim their light.
No, no. The world needs everyone to
That's
put out
right.
their talents, and yeah,
Absolutely.
enrich your the people around you, people next to you.
Absolutely. So anyone can catch this on the replay. You can get tickets on Empowered Tribe Collective at Eventbrite. Follow myself on Instagram, Victoria Lorian Fabish, and Nadia at Empowered Tribe Collective, as well as Nadia Lloyd
Tio.
TO. And also check out our websites, empowertribecollective.com and mine, visualizationworks.com. Lots of rich information there. And I want to see everybody on March the 7th, 10 a.m.
10 to 3,
at the
baby.
Freedom Factory. All right.
An awesome space with an awesome group and awesome energy.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I keep seeing how powerful it's going to be.
Me too.
I really feel it.
I'm visualizing it.
Me as well. Me as well. All right. So have a brilliant day. Keep being courageous with yourself and others. Keep shining your light. Don't dim your light. Let yourself be seen. The world needs you.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Have a brilliant day, everybody.
Same to you,
Take
and thanks
care.
for everyone who came
Bye.
along. See
Thanks
you
for
next
everyone who
week.
came on. Mwah. All right.